Hello, everybody. Hebro 77 here with yet another live stream. I'm going live tonight. I'm not going to be on here for very long because I was up late last night and was up late the night before. So we're not gonna be late this tonight. I haven't been drinking tonight either, so that's a blessing. That could either be a blessing or it could be a bad thing, I guess. Uh, had a wonderful show tonight. Dan's channel had a wonderful show in there. Uh, if you're not subscribed to Scarab, go do that. What's wrong with you? Um, that was a good show. But now we're here with Hebro, and we're going to talk about some certain things that what do I want to keep saying, Todd? What word am I looking for? Guys, help me out here. Boyle. John Boyle. Was that his name? John Boyle. He had some good points. He had some really good, interesting points. So you can go back and watch that. I can't say your name because I'm gonna butcher it if I say it. Lyez Lyz Zeddy. Zeddy. It sounds like a pasta. No, I'm mess. I'm kidding, but I'm kidding with you. But it does kind of sound like a pasta. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for thanks for joining me. Hey, bearded rhino, how you doing tonight, buddy? Um, I was just explaining that I'm not going to be up too late because I had a late night last night, and the night before I was up late. And you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm starting to catch a cold. Um, so anyway, yeah, I'm going to touch up on some of the things that he talked about, and we'll also go through the He-Man comic books a little bit. I have an announcement. If I didn't mention it in Dan's chat, then I'll mention it on here. I have an announcement that I just posted the last of the Mandela family videos. You can check those out if you want to. I posted about three or four, I think, today, right in a row. And tomorrow night, a very special live stream. Uh, I I'm going to call it the pre-game show because it's going to be uh, right before the Super Bowl. I said before that I was going to do. Thanks. I said before that I was going to do a live stream from my friend's bar, but my friend's not having anything, so I won't be there. I'll probably do a live stream from either my house or somewhere else. Maybe I'll just take my phone and just walk the streets. I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about CERN, and we're going to talk about the particle accelerator, and we're going to talk about Ghost and stuff like that. Some stuff that I've talked about in other live streams. If you've caught any of my other live streams, you can go back and check those out if you missed them. And so, hey, Autumn Kite, how you doing? And we got the known doe in here, Taekwondo. Sorry, the known doe. Where am I getting this stuff from? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not drunk tonight. I swear it. So we'll talk about the particle accelerator real quick. Just real quick. My theory has been, and for a long time, has been that CERN went in, and just like the Tower of Babel, they tried to find the God particle. They tried to find the beginning of life or whatever, how life was created, and they tried to do that. And when you try to mess with things that you don't understand or mess with things that are outside the realm of your own reality, you're going to end up opening portals and gateways that you don't want to open. Yeah, and things, demons, and stuff like that's going to slip out, and they're going to start messing with things. And I think that that could be one of the factors that's messing with our reality. Certainly not the factor that's messing with our reality. We talked about the commonalities, what we have in common, and me and crypto and the Kryptonian, I should say, and Stone Bender. We got to talking one night, and we realized that we have a lot of commonalities. We have a lot of stuff in common, and a lot of the stuff is our life path has a lot to do with it. And I think, they talk about the reason why some people can see the Mandela effect and why some people can't. I think some people were just simply chosen, or some people have a inner, I don't want to say inner mind, but I'm going to say it anyway, and like an inner being, inner state of mind that that just that a lot of people don't have. They can't see. They don't have that third eye. I think a lot of us have that third eye, and we could see these effects, and we could see the changes, uh, because we're just the way God made us. He made us to be able to see these things. And another commonality. I don't know if I'm making. Am I making up a word? Is that a word? I don't think it's a real word. But another commonality that we all have together is a lot of us are religious, not super religious, but we do believe in God, and we do have that in a commonality. Now, I talked to Dan before on his channel on the phone line about, about atheists. And I asked him outright, do you think there are atheists that believe in the Mandela effect? And he said that he has met some atheists that do believe in the Mandela effect. So I don't know that if the religion has really too much. Of course, it does have a lot to do with it, but I mean, as far as the people that are affected, I don't think everyone that's affected has is fully religious. But then again, there's a lot of people that say that if you're an atheist, atheism is a religion in itself. So I don't know, but there's a lot of commonalities between that. But I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. This is the most I've had on my live stream. I thank you for that. Usually it's just me, Cowboy, Stonebender, Jocko. Jocko was on the last chat, and I went through and I showed him I was drunk on the last chat. Oh crap! I just dropped my comic books behind the couch. Um, but I was showing them my He-Man and the Masters Universe. You can pick this up at any Barnes and Noble. Noble. I talk to Noble a lot in Hangouts. He's a cool dude. So we got this book, and I just wanted to show you guys real quick. I know a lot of you guys aren't comic book. You don't really follow comic books too much. I did this on my last show, but I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around. And if it's a little jarring, I apologize for that. But here it is. There's let's take a look at it. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe mini comic collection. Now, why am I showing you this book? Well, there's a lot of reasons. First of all, there's a lot of stuff on here that for me is Mandela. There's a lot of Mandela effects in these comic books if you look at them. And there's a lot of proofs in here too. But another reason, I mean, I grew up with He-Man and the Masters Universe, and it's really near to my heart. Now here you got Skeletor, right? Okay, here's a Mandela effect. You got Skeletor, and he's got the skull there. And you could see the skull, well, not so much in that picture, but you could see the skull in his eyes, the eye sockets. You could see they go deep. There doesn't appear to be any bone behind those eye sockets. That's one of the Mandela effects. But of course, again, it is just a drawing. But obviously, whoever drew that was aware of this at the time when they drew it, and they thought to put that in there. So there's one of the things that I look at when I'm looking at Mandela effects is the human skull. But of course, that's not meant to be a human skull. And also, I do realize that Skeletor Skeletor has eyeballs. He's got like little red eyeballs, as you can see. You can see right there, he's got the little red eyeballs. How would there be bone behind the eye sockets if he's got like little red eyeballs in there? Okay, that's number one. And number two, there was one I found here last night. If I can go back and look at last night's chat, look, Skeletor's standing here, and he's standing there. He's got a sword in his hand. He's like, "Well, hello, He-Man." That's Skeletor. So, in this one, Skeletor standing there, and he's like, "He-Man, what are you doing?" "Hey, Skeletor, I told you never come into my bathroom without knocking." "But He-Man, you're completely naked." "Don't look at me." No, I'm just sorry. I'm being silly. This is the original concept for He-Man, by the way. He was supposed to look like a caveman type guy. He's supposed to look like a caveman type guy. He was actually based off of Conan the Barbarian. And you can see that when you look at the illustrations here. You can see a lot of and here's the original Tila. Yeah, I don't really get Netflix, but I know it's on there because She-Ra is on there too, the new She-Ra, which I don't like it. I think it's just a bunch of anime garbage to me. But if somebody likes it, if they like that kind of stuff, then more power to them. But I just can't get into it. It's not my He-Man. It's not my She-Ra. But I have all of the He-Mans on DVD. And actually, the documentaries that you're talking about, are you talking about the He-Man documentaries? If you're talking about the He-Man documentaries, they're on those DVDs that I've got, the DVD collection, if that's what you're talking about. I've seen a lot of those, and that's how I get a lot of my information. A lot of my other information comes from the toy line. I collecting toys as I was a kid, and then growing up. Hey, Cowboy! There he is. Hey, Cowboy! Did you see my new video? The last one. That was pretty cool. It was a good way to go out. I thought it was a good note to go out on. Cowboy, we're just sitting here. I'm showing these guys my comic books. I got this book. It's called Masters Universe Mini Comic Collection. And what I was explaining to these guys was the eye sockets. Let me go back here, guys. I'm sorry. And actually, if you look at the eye sockets in Castle Grayskull, they're hollow. They're absolutely hollow. So that's a good example too. And when I was looking at my avatar a couple of weeks back, I was telling Cowboy, I said, now look at my avatar. Look at this skull in my avatar. If you notice, the eyes have shifted. You could see one eye going one way and the other eye's going the other way. There's me. There's me with my mouth open, talking. Hey guys, come on, get inside me. No, but Oh man, I'm silly. Imagine if I was drunk. You guys would get a whole different Hebro. You guys would get drunk Hebro, and sometimes it could be quite funny, and sometimes I don't know. A very thin bone behind the eyes will dissolve. Well, yeah, it would dissolve it. You wouldn't have eye matter. You wouldn't have the little stringies that hook up to the brain either. How would your eyes hook up to your brain if there was? Well, thanks for coming, um, Liz. Liz, I don't know. Sorry I butchered your name, but thanks for coming. I appreciate that. It's a man show. Yeah, it's going to be a man show now. We got all dudes in here. Um, I'll tell you, I feel sorry for Kat. She said she wasn't feeling good, and I tried to cheer her up. I said, I told her, I said, watch one of my videos. That'll cheer you up. That you know, guys. I'm sorry, but I laugh at my own stuff sometimes. I go on there and I look at it, and I was laughing my butt off a while ago. What scene was that when Dan was selling the avocados and Laird up and I'll buy an avocado if you can paint some eyeballs on it. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but I was laughing at my own stuff. So yeah, I'm just kind of flipping through the pages here of Skeletor and He-Man and all this. Trying to find some more Mandellers. I call them Mandellers. I think that's a funny way to put it, Mandellers. So here you got Tila again, looking good as usual. But you got her with blonde hair, and which is not a Mandela effect. It's just the way she was at the beginning in the comic books. If you go back, here's the odd thing. There she is, looking like she normally does. Oops, sorry. Looking like she normally does with the red hair, and they show her with red hair on this page, but she's got the blonde hair previous. If you can see it, here's Skeletor on the ladder, and he's like, "What are you doing way back there, He-Man?" See, He-Man's back there, but yeah, it's pretty funny. Um, so yeah, I'm not going to flip through this book all night, guys. I just wanted to show you the skull. The skulls with the eye sockets are clearly hollow. And why would they draw those hollow if there's always been bone behind the eye sockets? So that's it. I just wanted to show that. I'm going to close up the book now. I'm going to put it away. I want to show you guys. Let me turn the camera back around. I want to show you guys an episode of G.I. Joe where Cobra Commander's standing on top of the globe. But I'm afraid that if I put it on here, YouTube's going to take it down. This entire conversation that we're having here tonight, YouTube would probably take it down. I don't know. But check out Cowboy's channel, by the way. In March, he will start doing some live streams. That's only a month away. So just check that out. And I missed, I guess I must have made Party Puppy too tired because he was in here last night. We were in here last night to about 3 or 4 in the morning. Let's see how much power I have. The weird thing kept happening. I had my phone plugged in, but it kept dying. I had it plugged in, and I thought, you can keep your phone plugged in as long as it's plugged in, it's not going to die on you. But it kept dying on you. It kept dying on me, on you. But yeah, it was weird that it kept doing that. I thought that was weird. But we have our chats. We have our chats in our cool little, our little corner of the internet, our little corner and hangouts. And we come up with some things. There was something that I mentioned to Novelist D. That he's got it in the works. He hasn't come up with it yet, but I think he's doing a lot of research on it. And I wish Rondon the voice would come on here. I could tell him that, but he'll be on here next week. So we could see he could see it for himself next week, or he could go and look at the live replay. So anyway, that's him. I want to show you guys real quick a couple of Mandelers. Here we go. I took my phone off of charge, and I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to show you guys. I've talked about this on the live streams, and I mean not the live streams, but in Dan's live stream. Okay, we're going to look at it real quick, and I want you to decide. I've got the box here. I got to get to my video games, so please excuse me while I get to my video games. All right. As you can see, let me turn the camera around. Or as you can't see, I guess you can't see. Open up my cabinet here. Get in here. Let's see here. How do you brighten this thing up? I wish I could put more light on it. The Adventures. Here it is right here. Super Nintendo game. Let's get in the light where we got more light here. Okay, can you guys see this? You guys see that little shoot, that's blurry. The Adventures of Batman and Robin, and there's the little and symbol. And there's two things wrong with this. Let me set this down so it's not so shaky. First of all, when did the and symbol look like that? Shoot, that's blurry. Hold on. If I set it down, it's blurry. If I stand it up, the camera's shaking. It doesn't want me to show you guys this Mandela effect. Oh, it keeps blurring out. Come on, guys, blur in. Well, you're not going to be able to see it. Sorry. But there's an and symbol there, and if you take a look at the and symbol, which you can't right now because it's too ding-gum blurry. There it is. If you take a look at the and symbol, when have you ever seen an and symbol like that? Okay, to me that looks really weird. And the second thing is the word the. If you take a look at it, it says the with a lowercase t. That looks weird to me too. Okay. Now, here's Batman and Robin again on this package. Look at that. A huge difference. Huge difference. Now, I understand that companies sometimes print them differently, but it's like that on every single one of these. And it's too big of a coincidence, I think. And if you look it up, if you Google it, if you Google the Adventures of Batman and Robin, you're going to come up with about 1,000 matches for, wait a minute. Where do you see it backwards? E. Oh, wow. I didn't even know. Oh, are you talking about the symbol? Here, let's hold that up again. Oh, wow. Yeah, really? Huh. That's what it looks. Yeah, that's what it looks like. You're right. Well, I mean, it would be common that people write it like that. Yes, sir. You could be right. But here's the thing, man. Potato Vision. You remembered that. But no, the Adventures of Batman. See, I'm pretty good at stuff like this. This is my area of expertise, and I got to tell you, I've got comic books too, guys. I can show you some comic books. I have several of these comic books, and some of them say and some of them have that squiggly too. So it's not just coming up on different, it's not the fact that it's different products, which, yeah, I understand that companies print things differently on different products like that, but it's coming up on comic books too that way. And it, like I said, if you Google it, there's like 1,000 different matches for Batman and with the and symbol, and not the way that looks either. That looks really crazy to me. That looks really, really crazy to me. To me, it does. I've never ever seen it like that before, ever. But that's just me. I'm gonna turn the camera back around as soon as I stand up. But I wanted to show you guys one more thing. Mayan. Look at this. Check this out. The word, okay. This might be really hard to see on here. But see if you could see a problem here. Look at that label and tell me if that doesn't look right to you. I'll give you a second. I really have a problem with this spelling here, guys. I don't know about you, but I have a problem. Now, I'm not the greatest speller in the world. In fact, I'm freaking horrible at it. As you can see when I'm in chat, you can see how horrible I am. But that spelling of Mayan looks very, very weird to me. For two reasons. I know that it's probably right. It's probably correct, I guess. But it looks like Mayan, which could be pronounced Mayan. I get that. I do get that. But I always thought Mayan had an I in it for some reason. And the A's kind of misplaced. I just thought that looked weird to me, but it might not be. It's your opinion. Don't look at my ugly feet. You tell me what you think in the chat box. The chat box. In the chat. And I'll get back to you. I'm definitely looking at the chat, guys. I can see it. Here's the A team. Get the A team out real quick. There's Mr. T. He's very angry. Let's see. There's A team band. Let's get this in the light. Now you can't tell from that picture, but to me that looks like a solid black. All right, but it's okay, dude. Okay. Well, see, like I said, I'm not a very good speller. So, speller. But to me that looks solid black. And even when I turn it, it's hard to see in this light. You'd have to come over to my house and look at it. But from here, when I'm looking at it, it looks like a solid black with red stripe. And I was a huge fan of the A team. And on one of my videos, Stone Bender pointed out that it does look like a solid black on my action figure. My A-Team action figure van looked like a solid black color, but I showed him what was weird, and I'm not going to drag it out right now, but it was weird when I showed him in the chat, or in the, what do you call it, Hangouts. When I showed him in Hangouts, I took a picture of it, and he said, now it looks like the top part is light gray, or a gun barrel gray, whatever you want to call it. And the bottom part looks black. It looks like two different colors. Oh, crap. I just stepped on a whatchamadoodle. All right. Let's put that back over there. You see my collection here? Let's go in here for a second. If I do see the A-Team van, if it's sitting out in the open, I'll drag it out. But I'm going to do that. That's going to be a video. That's going to be a separate video. so I won't do it tonight. Let me show you why. Check this out. This is where I make the movies. You can see the scenery here in the background. See, you guys are getting behind the scenes. You wouldn't known that if you hadn't stuck around. You stuck around to see behind the scenes. See? So that's all the behind the scenes right there. But see, I got all kinds of action figures and stuff. The reason I showed you this is to show you that. I got one of the Star Trek things down. I want to show you guys this. This is interesting. If you look at the A in Star Trek, the A on this one looks very strange. It's broken and it's weird looking. I know they probably did that to make it look futuristic, but to me it just doesn't look right. I know who's going to disagree with me. I don't even have to look at the chat. I know who's going to disagree with me, but to me it just looks weird. So maybe my dog just went by, but I'm gonna put that up there. If you look at Star Trek, oh, he fell back there. If you look at that Star Trek, the A looks normal. So they weren't trying to do like a weird futuristic thing. But Star Trek The Next Generation just looks weird to me. In my Superman box. Okay, so let's see. How long have we been talking? 31 minutes? Hey, I appreciate you guys for coming over. This is actually the most chatters I've had since I've started doing these live streams, and I'm not very good at them. And I will have people on the panel as soon as I get a better internet connection and I get a laptop. Okay? So, Taekwondo, I appreciate you coming in, dude. I really do. You don't know how much this helps me out. It helps me out quite a lot. You know, I'm not one of those big time dudes like Scarab or Lone Eagle or, K Smalls or any of those guys. So you're not a dude. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been calling you dude all of these times I've been in chat with me, and you've never corrected me. How could you do that to me? Seriously. You never once said, oh, I'm not dude. You do. Oh, thanks, Bearded Rhino. I appreciate that. Like I said, I appreciate all the support, man, that I can get. And it's great that you guys, I owe it to Scarab's channel. I owe him a great thanks because he's the one that got me started. I started watching, the one I started watching was Photo Helix, and I started watching Scarab Performance, and I started watching Lone Eagle, and Lone Eagle is the one that actually got me interested in the map changes, and he was the one that kind of brought me into it, and I got into it. I started making my own videos, and actually, Photo Helix, when I saw his Oscar Mayer video, it triggered me so much that I was like, there's no way that is changed. At the time, I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't Mandela affected at the time. And so because I wasn't really, I was, but I wasn't. I wasn't quite there yet. So when I saw that, I immediately jumped on it. I'm like, listen to this song. And then when I started singing it, like, my baloney has a first name, it's Oscar. My baloney has a second name. It's Mayer. It automatically just snapped right back to Meyer. No, it didn't. It didn't snap back to. In fact, it took me a couple tries to even do it that way. So I don't know if sometimes we're not affected to the point where we don't see it and it's just not there, or if we're not affected enough. Um, and I know at that time I didn't see it, and even to this day, it's hard for me to think that that's changed because I remember as Mayer. Always, always did. GIF was another thing that I went off in my head. I rattled off the song. Choosy moms, choose GIF. Okay, it's not actually a song, it's the commercial. Choosy moms choose what? They choose GIF. Although Party Puppy pointed out to me on last night's broadcast that choosy not rhymes, but it goes with Jiffy. Choosy Jiffy. But that in my head, in my reality, it's not the way it was. It was always Jif. And when I first heard that one, I thought people were getting confused with Jiffy Pop or Jiffy Lube. There's a lot of Jiffies. But I didn't realize at that time that you can Google, you can look it up, and you can look it up how it's being spelled. You can look up Google Trends. And of course, that's how Dan does it. He looks up Google Trends, and with two F's. Yeah, you know what? Actually, now that you mentioned that, there was a day when I was going to Walmart and I was walking around and I was looking at the peanut butter and I saw it sitting on the shelf. And I told my wife, I said, there's something not right with that, Jeff. And she just kind of gave me that look like, oh, God, it's Mandela stuff again. But I was like, no, seriously, you cannot tell me. You look at that. You cannot tell me it doesn't have it. It used to have two F's. I said, I don't believe it's ever been Jiffy, but I do believe there was two F's in there. So when I saw it sitting there on the shelf with that one F, it hit me like a bolt of lightning. It was like, wait a minute, no, that definitely had two F's. So you reminded me of seeing it with two F's. Definitely, I do remember the two F's. I don't remember Jiffy, but I definitely remember the two F's. So when I showed her that, she said, "No, it's always been." I'm just okay, okay. And then I right there and then I knew she wasn't gonna see it, so I shut up. I said, "Oh yeah, you're probably right." So sometimes when that happens, it's so frustrating, but you just have to let it go. Otherwise, you get into a big argument and it's just not worth it. You just have to let it go and say, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Never mind. And then there was one time my stepdad was in the hospital. This is well, he died in the hospital. So it was right before he died. We didn't know what was going to happen. And we were all sitting in the cafeteria. And it was me and my family. And I looked over at the clock. And it had these really messed up Roman numerals. And I saw what was it? What number was it? I saw the 1 and the 2 and the 3 was all right. But when it got to, I think it was either the 4 or the 5, I think it might have been the 4, there was like 4 eyes. And there I'm like, wait, no, that's not right because I know my Rocky movies. I know what the Roman numeral is for 4, and it's not 4 eyes. And when I looked at it, I had to look two or three times, and I was telling my family, I, I was trying to tell them for two reasons. Number one, because I was kind of freaking out about it. And number two, I was trying to get their minds off of, they were already worried about my stepdad at the time, and it was just a bad time to be in there. Yes, IV. Yeah, exactly. It was just a bad time to be in there. And I just wanted to get everybody distracted, really, kind of, for just a few minutes. And let's have a discussion. Let's sit down, let's talk about this thing that I'm freaking out about right now. And they're like, oh, that's just that some clocks have it that way. Some clocks have the four eyes. And I was just like, I was not having it that day, man. Like, my stepdad's in here in the hospital dying, and you people are going to tell me that what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing. You people are saying that it's always been four eyes. Like, no, no. I know my Rocky movies. And that's how I remember the Roman numerals is through the Rocky movies and WrestleManias. I know my WrestleMania quite well. I remember being a little kid. My grandparents, I was raised by my grandparents. And I remember being a little kid. Oh, somebody left. See you later, guy, whoever you are. I remember being a little kid, and they wouldn't let me order a pay-per-view. It was too expensive. It's really expensive now, so I can't. It probably wasn't for back then. It was probably expensive, yeah. But so anyway, we couldn't watch the pay-per-view, so I would have to wait for them to come out on video. So I remember years later, as I got a lot older, I rented just like a whole bunch of WrestleManias right in a row, right? And I'm watching them in a row. So yeah, you can't tell me that I don't know my Roman numerals, because I know those things forward and back, and I know for a fact there's never been four eyes. It's IV, and then 5 is just a V. So I know that much. And then 6 would be VI. And then, of course, 7 would be VII. And 8 would be VIII. And then 9, I think, is an X. Hold on. Don't tell me. Um, 10 is X. I know 10 is X. And 9 would be V. Would it be VX? No, that's not right. Hold on. Don't tell me. Don't tell. I want to look it up. I got my WrestleManias. I'll look at it. I know that's a back-assward way of going about things, but without even looking at it right now, I'm going to say 9 was VX. No, wait. VX would be, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Okay, now I'm going to look at it. Now, I was probably wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Where the heck did I put that thing? WrestleMania. Here's 4. Right here. No, I mean 6. Here's WrestleMania 6. Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior, one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. But yeah. Okay, so where are you, 9? I was just telling you guys how I'm such an expert on my freaking Roman numerals, and I know that's not right. That can't be right. It can't be a VX. That doesn't make sense. Well, there's WrestleMania 10. 10 is an X. I know 10's an X. Where in the heck is my WrestleMania 9? All right. Okay. I give up. Can you guys, one of you guys, just go ahead and put it in the chat? I don't know how I could forget such a thing. I don't get it. Type it in the chat. I'm losing it. I feel like a total idiot now. I just told you guys I'm an expert. No, it can't be. It ain't. Yeah, the Taekwondo's got it right. It's IX. I thought it was something X. VX would be 15, wouldn't it? No, 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 no. 15 would be XV. Right. So IX. That's right. Now I just see. So yeah, there's but on the clocks now, who said that? Who said uh sorry guys, I'm new to this. Who said VII? That's probably is that what it is on the clocks now? Is it that's crazy. That's crazy. There's no. What? That's nuts, dude. Oh, check this out, Autumn. Check it out. Do you see that? I got your name on there. Not well, not because of you, but I mean, yeah. Now I had someone named my wife's name is Autumn, and so I got that on there. Now here's people say don't ever get names, but here's the thing. See how it's got the two leaves? Yeah. I could just say, oh yeah, well that's just fall time. You know what I mean? And I do like autumn. I do I don't like winter. I hate winter the least. Whew, man. Winter is just you're freezing your balls off. Excuse my language, but you're freezing your balls off. You got to go out and scrape your car off every time you got to go to work. Um, you're shoveling snow. I mean, just look at the weather we're getting now. It's crazy. It is where I'm from in southern Illinois. I don't like saying Illinois because people associate that with Chicago, and I am 6 hours, is it seven? I'm about 7 hours away from Chicago. So don't tell me I'm anywhere near Chicago. I am closer to St. Louis than I am in Chicago. Someone told me the other day, said, "Where's St. Louis, Missouri?" I'm like, you don't know where Missouri is? I mean, I guess a person can't. I mean, just Google it. Even we got Google Maps. Of course, if you look at Google Maps, it may have changed. So, because of the Mandela effect, it may have changed. Missouri might be over by Washington D.C. Who knows? You know, excuse me if you guys. I'm gonna light this cigarette up. Um, so I'm like Jason McFalls. I got a cigarette in my mouth. Um, but yeah, it seems like I was telling someone just the other day. We used to have a lot more snow when I was a kid, and now it seems like if it snows at all, it's just basically once or twice, and that's not very deep anymore. And it's not. It's just I don't know if it's global warming, if it's the Mandela effect, or if it's just uh, change in weather patterns. Because there is change in weather patterns every so many years. You got just different weather patterns. So we're not going to jump to global warming, but I'm going to tell you, the other day it was 12 degrees, and now I'm sitting in my apartment. I don't even have a heater on. It's 60 degrees out there. So you talk about a sudden jump. I mean, it's just nuts. We have a saying here in Southern Illinois, if you don't like the weather, just wait. That's our saying. Because it will change. Way smaller. Yeah. Actually, if you look at Florida, if you look at Florida, Florida looks to me like it's a lot smaller than it used to be. To me, okay, I've mentioned this, I know, on other live chats, but you guys weren't around to hear it. Florida to me was like this. It came down like this. Florida, okay? And it was a lot, it looked like it was a lot longer. And I always joked, I said, Florida is the penis of America, okay? I'm sorry I'm being very blunt here, but that's what I've always, it's the penis of America. And now the penis of America looks like it's suffering from erectile dysfunction because now it's way up there and it's really short. Seems like if you go and look at the map now, go look at it. It looks like it's a lot shorter than it used to be. And everything has changed. So different. I mean, Australia used to look like a pork chop, and now it looks like the shape of a heart. And it's so broken up. There's places where it's just, it doesn't look like Australia. It's crazy looking. Uh-huh. See, I'm not going to talk about, I don't really believe in certain things. I'm not going to bring them up. I'm not going to talk about that stuff. But it could be. I don't know. I know that the sun and moon seem like they're coming out during the day more than they used to. Uh, I do remember the sun and moon coming out certain part of the day, but I don't think it was as early as it used to be. Oh boy. Taekwondo, you're hilarious. It looks, you might be right. You might be right. Oh boy. A lot of the old guys go down there. That's why it's that way. Oh man. Okay. We'll see that in live chat replay. We'll see the comments. Uh, but no, you know what brand of cigarettes I'm smoking? I'll show you. You guys probably never heard of these. They're called pyramids. Let me see if I get a good pyramids. They're kind of like, how do I, kind of like, what's that cheap brand? There's a really cheap brand, but these are a cheap brand. I used to hear when I was a kid that they were made by in prison. Um, but they're pyramid, and I remember these not just being pyramid, but being pyramids. They used to be pyramids, and now it's just pyramid. So that could be just me, but I think that it's changed. I need to bring that up on Scarab's program next week. It seems like they've changed. Also, if you take a good look at the Y, you see how the Y is almost kissing the P. Can I delete that? uh, never mind. We're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch that one. It's late, guys. It's late. I apologize, but no. Se- Seriously though, look at that Y. Isn't that crazy looking? It's bending all the way over, and if you look at the whole thing, look at the whole word. It's all the letters almost running together. Maybe that's why they don't have room for the S anymore because they're just squeezing everything together there. I don't know. But yeah, the why just oh my battery's going low, and we are almost at the 1 hour mark. And I said I wasn't going to stay up too late, but I've got a lot more people in here than I usually have. I'm going to go ahead and give this room a shout out before I go. The Taekwondo. Let's see here. Let me give the room a shout out real quick. Live chat. Um, Taekwondo. Autumn Kite. Um, Believe the Glasses too. Thank you for all joining me. And we had who was in here earlier? Laird Life, I think, was in here. Cowboy was in here. So I appreciate those guys for stopping by and checking out my live chat. I appreciate you guys for stopping by and checking out my live chat. But unfortunately, my phone is about to die. I honestly, I think I need a new phone because the battery life doesn't last as long as it used to. So, with that being said, I'm going to bed. And I wish you all a good night. And I wish you all the love in the world. Check out my action figure videos if you haven't already. Give me the thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you like what you see, if you don't like what you see, you don't have to subscribe. I'm just saying, it'd be nice. It would be nice. Oh, the bearded rhino was here. I got to give him a shout out. The bearded rhino. Thanks for coming by and watching my live chat as well. And everybody out there, have a good night. On Kite, it was good to see you again. I think this is the first time you've seen one of my live streams. So oh, there he is. I thought he left. But anyway, yeah. So again, thank you very much, and everyone have a beautiful night. Get some sleep because tomorrow night, tomorrow, how am I going to say this? 4 p.m. Central Time. Uh, it's going to be live chat. I'm doing another one. Um, I don't think anybody else is really doing not any of the big wigs is having live streams. So you can come check it out if you can. If you can't, then that's cool. I'm gonna try to get everything in before the Super Bowl because like I said before, I'm not really a huge football fan, but I do play a lot of Madden and I do watch the Super Bowl when it comes on every year. That's just the thing. So anyway, um, God bless, good night, and good luck. And peace.